Okay, so this is the description of Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday's ground for visually impaired supporters or any supporters who are just going to listen to the audio stream. And oh, I tell you what, we've got a proper stadium here. In fact, it just struck me, I need to go down some steps to properly show you, if you are able to see this, what it's like. Because it's a corker. One of the great historic stadiums of world football, Hillsborough. And Sheffield Wednesday, one of the great historic clubs, Sheffield City, which is absolutely at the forefront of the creation of football. And so, let me take you through it. Right, so to my left, we have got a massive colour scoreboard in the left corner. Over the police box, a big box with windows at the top, it says Stadium Control. And then next to it is the away end, 2 tiers. This, of course, I can't mention it without saying this, of course, is the Leppings Lane end, which is, of course, the site of a terrible tragedy in 1989 where 97 local fans were killed in a crush which was caused by poor administration and police control. It's a 2-tier stadium, it's all seated now. 2-tier stand, rather. The bottom tier has got seats at a very sort of shallow angle. How many rows? We're looking at about 15, split into 6 blocks. They're all blue seats. You can see a lot of them have been replaced because there are lots of different shades of blue. And the previous owner, of course, really didn't do much for this club in terms of investment in the infrastructure. And the first 2 rows of the middle blocks are white. So it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Oh, as also I just noticed, there's a walkway behind it and then another row of seats. Now, whether those are for people accompanying supporters in wheelchairs, I'm not sure. There's then a little flights of steps in the centre of it which go up to the top tier, which is much bigger, about 3 times bigger, is at a much more steep angle and is split into 5 or 6 sections. Ooh, let's have an estimate. How many rows? Looks like about 40 rows going back. This is a cavernous stadium. That's the best word to describe it. It is massive. So that's the away end, which Wrexham has sold a lot of tickets for today. In the corner is, I'm certain it's unused, that there is a terrace, a big terrace, which is all painted blue with a couple of white vomitoria at the top. And I'm certain that's not used anymore. It looks like it'll hold a good few thousand people. Over it, there's no roof to that section. You can see that's a leftover of the old stadium. Where you could just have massive terraces and stand on them. And then behind it, you can see the terraced houses and factories of Sheffield. Opposite is the North Stand, which is a 1-tier stand, but a big one. So it counts 12. Looks like about 60 rows going back. They're all blue again, a bit higgledy-piggledy, with the last 5 or 6 rows white. The letters NS are picked out in the middle. Now, the central seats are fairly uniform, and I can tell you why. This is the one which certainly at this moment, this is January 2026, I'm making it. This stand's been in the news for a couple of reasons. Well, one reason is when their owner, Dejan Chansiri, left, one of the first things the administrators did was he had his name across the stand, and they've taken out his name, but you can still make it out. So faintly, you can see on the first block there's a big C, and the seats are a bit lighter, then an H. Then you can just about make it the A. The N and the S, which I guess are short for North Stand, have been kept. And then IRI, you can just about make out in darker seats going to the right. So yeah, it's an unusual situation. Like I said, it's just a straight 1-tier stand with a cantilever roof. I'll get onto cantilever's roof some more in a minute. You can't see it very well because the massive cantilever roof on this side sort of blocks your view. But it says, it's got on the fascia of the roof, it's got swfc.co.uk, Hillsborough, Sheffield, and the Owls, and it's got a clock in the middle. The roof, weirdly, on the other three sides is joined up by little strips of metal going between the corners of each stand. Now then, moving along, the Kop is a famous stand. It is enormous. It used to be all standing and was one of the great sections of any football ground. It's got a really weird little sort of corner bit. So in the far corner from me, there's like an elbow a bit sticking out. So there's a side stand which looks like it probably holds about a couple of hundred people uncovered in the corner. And like I said, that is sort of facing sideways towards the main Kop stand. It's quite an odd little thing. And then there's a little wedge of seats just above it as well. They're all blue seats again. SWFC's picked out. It's kind of a two-tier stand, although there's very little difference between the two tiers, and it's utterly massive. It's split into 5 sections. The corner nearest my stand is filled in as well. And right, okay, the bottom section, I don't know if I want to call it a tier, looks like it's got about 50 rows of seats. The top section I can't tell you because I can't see it, because it goes back a long way, and this roof I'm in here with under cuts off the view. Interestingly though, it's split into smaller blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks, but some of the gangways, the steps in between, are on the diagonal rather than vertical. So on the left there's a diagonal one, and then going from the middle to the right there's a really long sort of diagonal wall. It looks like it's quite peculiar, white wall in amongst all the blue seats, which I assume are steps to get up to the top right corner. It's very odd. And then this stand, the south stand, is famous for its cantilever roof, which, oh gosh, it's enormous. It's absolutely vast. It goes up so high above where I am. It is, I'm trying to remember, it was either the first ever cantilever stand roof built, or it was the biggest in the world for a long time. I'll have to double check my facts on that. Loads of, there's a gantry up above me, lots and lots of girders holding the roof up. And then it's another big stand. This is the main stand. The reception's underneath me. I'm on the 4th floor, came up in the lift. And yeah, two tiers once more. And, well, underneath me it looks like there's about 30 rows. And then there's about another 20 rows behind me. I'm in the press box. The press box is which is, it looks old-fashioned. And the press guys would apologise to me beforehand. It's lovely. It's fun. There's so much room. It's perfect. It's a great press box. There's another camera gantry right next to me, which is right in front of the press area. So there we are, one of the great stadiums of world football, an incredibly historic, if tragic stadium, Sheffield Wednesday's Hillsborough.